Welcome to Collision Hub News Network, your monthly source for collision repair news, events, and the information you need to keep your business moving ahead. In this episode, parts bill in Congress again, Ford invests in plants, Phoenix Parts faces financial issues, asTech pushes into new fields. All this and more, so let's get started.
This is CHNN.
The ProSpot i5 Smart Welder is designed to handle all of your collision repair needs. With Auto Weld Mode, the i5 measures, senses, and welds consistently every time you pull the trigger, regardless of metal thickness or type, ensuring a factory quality repair. The high-resolution full-color touchscreen display simplifies navigation through more than 4,000 OEM repair screens. The updatable software features weld data and repair recommendations from the top automotive manufacturers. Raise your shop's collision repair IQ with the ProSpot i5 Smart Welder. Call your local ProSpot distributor today for a demonstration.
The parts bill is back. The Promoting Automotive Repair Trade and Sales Act, which cuts design patent protections for OEM collision parts, will once again be in front of the 115th Congress. The previous parts bill was first conceived in 2011 and introduced in 2015 and is aimed at reducing consumer costs and diversifying competition. The new version was reintroduced in the Senate as S812 and House as HR 1879. Its aim is narrowly amending Title 35, which reduces the period of time car manufacturers can enforce design patents on collision repair parts against alternative parts suppliers. The proposed law would only apply to design patents and not utility patents, meaning the only patents affected would be those aesthetically different. Under the Parts Act, it would not be an act of infringement for an alternative parts supplier to sell an aftermarket collision repair part once 2.5 years have elapsed from the date of patent. The Act would also allow alternative parts suppliers to research, develop, make and test such parts on a not-for-sale basis during the 2.5-year patent period. The bill was introduced the same day that AAA released a new survey showing that 1 in 3 Americans would be unable to afford an unexpected car repair without going into debt. Opponents of the bill say it creates an unfair exemption to established patent law, which could come at the expense of the industry. They also fear there may be safety implications if generic parts are lower quality than their brand name equivalents. Those in favor of the bill say that with respect to car repair parts, passage will restore the design patent law to where Congress originally intended it. An Uber self-driving SUV is at the center of debate on autonomous vehicles in Arizona. On March 24th, an SUV turned left in front of the Uber vehicle, causing a crash that flipped the Uber self-driving SUV onto its side. There were no serious injuries, but images of the vehicle on its side have caused quite a stir. Arizona has fully embraced Uber, offering minimal government regulation as the company tests out its autonomous vehicles. Uber's self-driving car program and the recent accident have raised questions on how much government intervention it should endure on issues such as accidents, insurance, and reporting. In the state, these self-driving vehicles are required to only carry minimum liability insurance policies. They are also not required to track phrases or report that information to the state. These vehicles are, in essence, like any other car on the road. The company is currently operating more than a dozen self-driving vehicles in Arizona. The March accident is the first for Uber. The company has suspended the self-driving car program while investigating the crash. Liberty Mutual is offering a 10% discount to some Volvo owners. Earlier this month, the insurance company expanded its partnership with Volvo to offer discounts for the OEM's city safety system in their vehicle. The program will begin in Illinois and roll out to additional states throughout the year. The discount is just the latest in the company's 7-year-old affinity program with Volvo. All Volvos with CitySafe will be eligible for the discount. CitySafe is a crash prevention technology that uses camera and radar to initiate automatic braking. Volvo City Safety includes not only auto braking for vehicles, but also cyclists, pedestrians, and large animals. Volvo has been pioneering auto brake technology since the first-generation standard brake support was introduced in 2006. The first-generation city safety system was introduced in 2008. Liberty Mutual plans to study this technology's impact on today's accident frequency and severity and share the information with Volvo. A January 2016 report from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety showed that the cars outfitted with Volvo City Safety reduced rear-end crashes by 41% and injuries by 47%.
Now, body shops can turn to a true partner for a solution. 3M, the maker of the world's finest abrasives, has teamed up with Festool Automotive Systems the foremost maker of automotive tools, to bring you a sanding system that allows your technicians to work faster, smarter, and cleaner. For starters, everything a technician needs is nearby and ready. Workflow is improved, with less time spent looking for tools. It's compact, mobile, and intuitive. For example, if it's green, it has a function. And everything is easy to connect. Just one click and go. With a 360-degree swivel to help keep the hose from tangling. The 3M Cubitron 2 abrasives alone could save you a bundle while delivering a uniform finish. And this system was designed with technician safety in mind. With ergonomic non-slip tools that stop when you do, an IAS anti-static hose, and a dust extraction system that's HEPA certified as an entire unit, not just a filter. 3M and Festool Automotive Systems are your body shop's partner in helping you work cleaner and faster, with less rework caused by dust in the air from sanding. The new Total Automotive Sanding System. It settles the dust and raises your productivity and profits.
State Farm recently announced they are requiring 1 to 2 techs at every select service auto body shop to have passed iCar's aluminum and steel welding program by March 2018. For more on repairing aluminum vehicles, here's Larry.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Repair University. I'm Larry Montanez from P&L Consultants. I'm here today to talk to you guys about the aluminum vehicles that we're seeing more and more on the road today. It started a few years back with the Acura NSX, and then we sporadically saw vehicles pop up here and there that weren't that popular. In the last few years, we've seen a lot of aluminum vehicles pop up on the market, such as this Corvette Z06 over here. They also have its sister, the ZR1. Audi has the Audi A8, TT, R8. Mercedes-Benz has the new SL and the SLS AMG, and probably going to produce a few more vehicles in the next coming years that will be aluminum intensive. Additionally, the Porsche 911, the new 991 car, and the Porsche Panamera both have aluminum front structures and steel structural back, along with some aluminum and magnesium panels attached to it. For the last few years, we've seen a lot of outer body panels that are aluminum intensive. The new Nissan Altima has a hood panel, a roof panel, and a deck lid that are aluminum. The roof panel is affixed by just adhesives alone. There's also talk of eventually having an aluminum upper body unitized structure attached to a body over frame type vehicle, and we'll probably see that sooner than later. What are some of the issues with aluminum? Well, aluminum obviously doesn't like to be pulled in most cases. Most manufacturers will not allow any pulling of the aluminum. One exception happens to be the Corvette. Within a certain amount of millimeters, the vehicle is allowed to be structurally realigned. Most of the other manufacturers of aluminum vehicles will usually prohibit any structural realignment whatsoever. Aluminum generally needs heat to be repaired or to be moved back into shape, such as outer body panels, if you're going to fix some dents. The big issue with fixing dents or deformities on aluminum panels is the fact that we have to have a clean room. Along with the clean room, to prevent any cross-contamination, we're going to need separate tools, separate hammers, separate sandpaper, separate sanding tools. There can be no cross-contamination between the steel particles and the aluminum particles. Otherwise, you can have the aluminum rot to protect that particular steel. Generally, when working with aluminum, we have to also protect the area and not cause any marring to it. Hammers will usually have smoothed edges. Dollies will have smoothed edges, or even sometimes you'll be using a rubber dolly. And as with dent removal, you'll probably try and use a hammer and dolly. You would need the hammer off dolly technique, where the dolly is pushing up on the low area and the hammer is trying to push it down a little bit. Using the hammer on dolly technique may thin out the metal and stretch it out. Additionally, there's some companies out there that are producing weld-on dent removal tools for aluminum, which you also have to be careful with those, and you'll probably need some heat added to it. The future of aluminum repair? Well, I think we're going to see more and more of these vehicles. Approximately, in my opinion, 80% of the vehicles that'll be on the roadway within the next 5 to 10 years will be aluminum intensive, and more than likely powered by some other source other than gasoline or diesel. More likely it'll be a hybrid vehicle, maybe liquid natural gas or natural gas, or ethanol somehow, a bigger mix of ethanol, not this E85, but maybe E50 for some reason, powered along with a electric motor. And this is all for fuel efficiency and occupant safety and cleaning the environment. So what does that mean to us collision repairers? That probably means some investment in tools, some investment in equipment, major equipment, capital equipment, probably some property as far as getting a separate room or area to be able to do aluminum repair, and then of course some extra training. And if you get on board now with this, you'll be ahead of the curve. If you wait, it might be too late later on. I hope this little session helped you guys out understand what's going on with aluminum, and look forward to talking to you guys more about this maybe in a future Repair University video about aluminum repair.
A true mobile estimating solution is here. asTech's mobile estimating can help you dramatically improve your estimating process. It is device independent and goes where you go. Whether you have an iPhone, iPad, Android tablet, or Windows Surface, you can start your estimate anywhere that you have connectivity. It includes the great features of asTech's estimating, such as AutoVin and color-coded, intelligent 3D graphics, allowing any appraiser to easily capture the VIN, vehicle options, photos, and vehicle damage in order to create the most accurate estimate and impress your prospective customer. Whether you're moving around your shop or working remotely, let mobile estimating from asTech help you be more efficient, accurate, and ultimately get more keys.
Late last month, Ford announced it is investing $1.2 billion in 3 Michigan facilities. In total, Ford will add 130 jobs as a result of the investment and preserve another 3,600 that could have been liquidated. Ford plans to spend $850 million to upgrade the Michigan assembly plant before building the new Ranger pickup truck and Bronco SUV, which will roll out in 2019 and 2020 respectively. The Ranger and Bronco will replace production of small cars, which are moving out of the United States and into Mexico. Ford will invest an additional $150 million and add the 130 jobs at its Romeo engine plant outside of Detroit. The remaining funds will go to a data center in Flat Rock, supporting the company's mobility and self-driving vehicle programs. In January, Ford scrapped plans to build a $1.6 billion plant in Mexico, which would have cost American jobs. The Society of Collision Repair Specialists has released a 3-part YouTube series on corrosion protection. The video series is part of its broader initiative explaining repair procedures and their importance. The 3 videos can be found within the SCRS Smarts newsletter. The videos focus on primers, seam sealers, and cavity wax. The digital newsletter also contains a 2-page spread offering links to iCar's discussions of various OEM weld-through primer guidelines through the iCar RTS portal. Another video in the film series will premiere at the SCRS Open Board Meeting April 18th in Pittsburgh.
Since the launch of 90 Line 25 years ago, Glasurit has been a leader in refinish and waterborne innovation. Today, Glasurit continues to offer innovative products with the introduction of 8 high-hiding waterborne toners. Glasurit Color Advance Boosters. Glasurit Color Advance Boosters offer many benefits for collision repair facilities. Ultra-high pigment concentration enables better hiding with less material consumption. Reduce 90 line base consumption by up to 50% with the Color Advance Boosters. In some cases, these boosters completely eliminate the need for gray shade undercoats. Fewer coat applications allow for shorter process times, generating higher daily booth throughput. Finally, you can lower your material consumption, increase your profits, and decrease your process times. Please contact your BASF account representative for questions, or visit us at basfrefinish.com.
If you've sanded on a car, then you've been faced with pigtails and the work of removing them. For more on how to prevent putting in heavy scratches, here's Steve.
The first tip I want to talk about today would be proper sanding technique for the Perfect-It 1 paint finishing system, and really how to avoid putting in deep, heavy scratches or pigtails into the painted surface. Proper sanding with the Perfect-It paint finishing system is really critical for its success. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to remove pigtails from the system, or more importantly, how not to put them in. A few little tips and tricks for not putting in the pigtails would be to use the right sander. So here I have 2 different sanders. This is a 3/16 throw, and here I have a 5/16 throw. I prefer the 3/16 throw sander for this process. The smaller throw, the better it's going to work for not loading up your sandpaper. When we don't load up the sandpaper, we're going to have much better success for not putting in the pigtails. So that would really be the most important thing, choose the right tool for the job. Second most important would be to use the right air pressure. There's a little regulator right here on the tool. We want to have the tool running at 40 to 50 psi. Most shops don't have a regulator on the wall, so we're going to have to do it by sound, okay? So you want the tool to sing, you don't want it to be screaming. You want it to be a nice low sound when you're using it, so when you push down, the tool's not free spinning, it's just slightly oscillating. So really, if we run the tool too fast, we're much more likely to put in pigtails, okay? The other key factor would be when we're sanding, especially with dry, as soon as you start to see pigtails on the surface while you're sanding, you need to stop, clean the disc off, clean the surface a little bit, and keep going. When those pigtails reappear, it's really time to change the disc. Sanding with a worn out disc, you're much more likely to put in pigtails, okay? The other tip that I like to give is I always use the soft interface pad. While I use the interface pad, I get a much finer finish, much more uniform finish, and I'm less likely to undercut. I'm also less likely to put in those pigtails, which we'll struggle with getting out later, okay? If you do have a lot of issues dry sanding, 3M also offers a disc called the Trizec Clear Coat Sanding Disc. That's used damp with water, and it's much less likely to put in pigtails. The drawback to that disc is you're using water, and you can't necessarily see the surface, okay? Another fine point would be when you're switching discs, I never like to switch the disc over the panel. When we switch discs over the panel, dust and debris from your sanding process could fall onto it, and as we sand back over that, we put in those deep curlicue scratches. So again, the whole point would be, rather than trying to take out curlicues, to not put them in the first place, okay? Another tip would be to make sure that we use the Trizec steps, Trizec 3000 and Trizec 5000 properly. If we don't use those discs properly, we're still gonna have a 1500 grit scratch, and it's gonna be much more difficult to remove the sand scratches that are left over.
Vehicle Technology and Trends 2017 is a one-hour online course highlighting 2017 model year vehicles. This course describes features and collision repair procedures for several models, including the Chrysler Pacifica on an entirely new platform for Fiat Chrysler, the newly redesigned Ford Escape, Honda's first revision of the Ridgeline pickup, and a remake of the Kia Sportage. Trends for 2017 models include an explosion of front-facing cameras and composite reinforcements. New equipment highlights include a new measuring system tool that uses virtual technology and a battery-powered GMA pulse welder. There is also a look ahead to the use of resistance spot riveting. Vehicle Technology and Trends 2017. Now online. Now 1 hour. Available anytime, anywhere. For more information or to register for this course, visit icar.com.
Phoenix Parts is facing difficult financial circumstances, but the company claims they are not down for the count. The startup Salvage had hoped to take a larger role in the recycled parts sector, but failed to meet 2016 quarterly filing dates and other requirements. As of September 2016, Phoenix had a $35 million line of credit. Its other startup capital came from a May 2015 IPO, which sold shares at $8 and brought in a net of $101.3 million. The company's failure to deliver its second, third, and fourth quarter reports on a timely basis and its failure to comply with certain financial covenants have triggered defaults under the credit facility with one lender, BMO Harris Bank N.A. In late March, Phoenix Parts entered into a forbearance agreement to the credit facility with BMO Harris Bank N.A., which halts certain negative actions against Phoenix. The forbearance period will end on May 26th. The company suffered between a $2.4 million adjusted and $3.5 million reported operating loss in the third quarter of 2016. This was driven by the impact of lower scrap and parts revenues, reduced overall gross profit margin on sales, and higher general and administrative expenses, including professional fees. Phoenix had hired STIFEL, NICOLAUS & Company to help it examine a range of potential strategic and financial transactions. These will provide the company with improved liquidity and maximize shareholder value. The publicly traded company's failure to file its second and third quarter 2016 reports on time also prompted NASDAQ to threaten delisting its stock. Despite the difficult financial situation, Phoenix CEO Kent Robertson said in a statement, the company remains focused on executing business plans and meeting the needs of their customers. An asTech manufacturer has drawn public attention for the purchase of 3 mobile electronic diagnostic companies. Repairify, which controls collision diagnostic services, said it bought the Airbag Guy, Replace My Stuff, and theft replacement services earlier this month. These companies, which provide mobile electrical automotive diagnostic services in Texas, New Mexico, Maryland, and Virginia, will continue operating under the asTech brand. The companies are all leading providers of mobile diagnostic services such as diagnostic scans, recalibrations, airbag replacements, and key replacements. The new line of business came out of the limitations of the asTech system, which could mean shops would need to outsource work. The diversification of the business into mobile diagnostic services further extends asTech's suite of service offerings in the collision industry. This will allow the company to offer an end-to-end diagnostic and mechanical solution to its customers. iCar announced it has bestowed the Lifetime Contribution Award. Chuck Sukala was honored at the iCar Volunteer and Instructor Conference last month in California for his years of dedicated leadership and service to the organization and industry as a whole. Sukala is a post-chairman of the iCar International Board of Directors and former chairman of iCar Canada. Sukala has been honored as Man of the Year by the Massachusetts Auto Body Association and received the Industry Achievement Award from the Society of Collision Repair Specialists. He is also the founder, president, and current executive director of the National Auto Body Council and was named Honorary Life Member of the NABC. Sukala announced in January that he would be stepping down and retiring from NABC at the end of the year. From all of us at Collision Hub, congratulations, Chuck. This honor is well deserved.
Hey, it's Kristen and welcome to Repair University. You know, it's hard to believe it's been 6 years since we aired our first episode, and with already over 2.5 million views, the show just gets better and better every year. But for 2017, we've decided to do something a little bit different. We're going to go live and put you behind the cameras and into the audience seat. 12 times in 2017, we'll broadcast straight here from the studio as we discuss all the repair techniques and processes you need to make 2017 your best year. Join in with your questions, any concerns that you have. It's like being right in the studio with us while we do the show. So log on to collisionhub.com, buy your season pass now, 12 episodes for $30, and don't miss a single live episode in 2017. Ready there? Hey, this is Kristen with Collision Hub, and welcome to Repair University.
Thank you for watching this month's episode of Collision Hub News. We hope you'll make CHNN your source for the collision repair news and information you need. Want more in-depth coverage of stories you heard about today? Please visit Repair Driven News, your daily source for information and editorial features for the collision repair industry. If you need to catch up on past episodes of CHNN, visit the YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe, ensuring you'll never miss another edition.
This program is brought to you through the support of these sponsors. This is CHNN.